Hello, everyone. This is Chris with Bin Chicken's Vinyl Fair Podcast, Season 2. We're rolling right along. And tonight I'm talking to well, I was going to call him a friend of mine, but it's really more of a mere acquaintance. Ivan is on the horn. How you doing, Ivan?
How you doing, Chris?
Doing pretty well, thank you.
Good,
Uh,
good.
and of course, I was kidding. I consider you a friend, even if that's not mutually felt. But
It's definitely not, no.
okay, well, good. I appreciate your honesty. It'll make for an entertaining podcast. Um, so vinyl, do you collect it? Do you have any records? How many do you have? Why is it such a pitiful number? Anything you want to say?
Are we talking about vinyl toys?
No, we're talking about vinyl records. We're also not talking
Oh,
about
right.
vinyl styles either.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a big collection, but I have a few records that I've accrued over the years.
Okay, and why did
Um,
you start? Why did you start collecting records?
Honestly, because I thought it was cool. Um, but I mean, I like the art on them. You know, like I love owning physical media. I have like a lot of books and a lot of movies and all that shit. So I figured once like CDs and shit started dying out, I might as well start doing the record thing.
Cool. Do you have a favorite record of yours that you own?
Um, I mean, I guess there's two that I really enjoy. Childish Gambino's because of the internet. Um, I just really like the packaging. It comes with the book and everything. And then I also got a hold of a Bob's Burgers um, multi vinyl set from Sub Pop that's really awesome. It's got like a book and stickers and got the music from the show. It's really fun.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Are you aware that Record Store Day Black Friday edition is coming up in just about 51 days? I believe the website has a countdown on.
I'm aware because you told me like 3 minutes ago.
Well, very good. You're paying attention. So I'm guessing you haven't looked at the list yet.
No, no, I have not.
Okay. Well, I'll save you the time and I'll point out a couple highlights. Um, I don't know if you remember the awful Masters of the Universe movie from the late 80s with Dolph Lundgren.
Fucking classic.
Yeah, it's classic garbage. I mean, it was He-Man shooting a laser gun. It was so awful.
It improved on my cartoon.
Well, that soundtrack is actually being released on vinyl for the first time, so that's pretty cool.
Is that a
Um,
good soundtrack? I don't even remember that shit.
um, I don't know that it was particularly great, but it's done by Bill Conti, who did a couple of other '80s soundtracks that were pretty pretty memorable. I think it mentions it in the little clickable thing. Let's see. Oh yeah, he did the score for the original Rocky.
Oh, nice.
Um, and the original Karate Kid. So I mean, I'm in it to win it just on those two.
Yeah, I mean,
So
that's a great record so far.
um, it also has it's the 25th anniversary of the song "Stay, I Missed You" by Lisa Loeb and Nine Stories.
I don't think I know what that is.
You don't know "Stay" by okay, I'm not gonna sing it. I haven't had enough beers yet. But so that single's being released, but obviously you're gonna be looking right over that one. Um, And then there was one that I thought that you might be interested in. Sublime is
Oh,
yeah, it's called The Roots of Sublime, and it looks like a cool concept where they have it's four Sublime songs, none of which I have heard because I'm a basic bitch and I only know there's the commercial singles. Um, and then it's the original artist, because I guess these are all covers. So then it's the original recording by the original artist of those songs.
oh, nice. So probably like a
Um,
Bob Marley song and a Distillers song. I think they covered.
well, so
Not this,
there's a
not Distillers. Descendants.
so okay, well, so there's a Bad Brains song on here,
Okay.
and then there's a song by a group called Melodians.
Um,
I guess they
no.
did the Rivers of Babylon song.
Oh, okay. Nice. I like that song.
And then there's an artist called Wailing Souls, and then there's Dee Dee Warwick. I've heard of neither of those, but
Have you experienced the backlash against Sublime?
no. Can you
Like
please talk
recent?
about this?
I guess it's a basic bro band. So I mean, it's all over the internet. There's articles about like how Sublime is like basic white boy um like posturing music. And I feel
It's
bad,
like
you know,
safe
because
reggae.
what's up?
It's like white boy reggae. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. And I feel bad because I have a fucking 40 ounce of freedom tattoo on my calf. So I'm glad I never wear shorts.
So do you think it's an unjust saddling that they're being saddled with these accusations?
I mean, I could see a lot of like douchebag bros like liking Sublime. It's definitely that type of music, but that doesn't mean it's bad inherently. You know, like
Right.
it's not Bradley's fault. I don't think the lead
Is
singer.
he the is he the one who's dead?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, then it is his fault because he's not here to defend himself.
that's true.
You never got into Fish at all, did you, or jam bands in general?
No, I kind of find them a little annoying.
Okay. Well, on that we can wholeheartedly agree. Um, but there is a Fish album being re-released, and of course there's like a Jerry Garcia record because there hasn't been enough
it's
live
it's
concerts of
mandatory.
that. Yeah. So 107, I think I counted them yesterday. There's like 176 releases, and I counted like 8 like hip hop releases. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
What
So
what are the hip anything good in the hip hop?
um so I don't know how you feel about Cardi B.
Oh, I like Cardi B. I think she's pretty
Okay,
awesome.
yeah, I think she's pretty awesome too. Her first mixtape, I guess, that like put her on the scene, is being released on vinyl
Is that
called
the one with Bodak Yellow on it? Maybe.
well, so I thought that, but when I clicked on the list, it does not have it on here.
Oh
It's
shit.
the mixtape is called Gangsta Bitch Music Volume 1.
Oh, it's a good
Uh,
title.
it's definitely a good title, and I'm not going to describe what's being depicted on the cover of the record, um, but it's pretty it's an interesting cover. So there's that. There's a Lizzo EP on here.
Nice.
There's a J. Cole EP, and then the thing that I'm excited about, in addition to the Masters of the Universe soundtrack, is a DMX record with it's like a live performance from like some weed festival that he was at in 2003 with Cypress Hill. I mean, it was called the Smokeout Fest,
No, nice.
um, and it's Cypress Hill hosting it, so obviously there was weed aplenty there. Um, but yeah, it doesn't have like his. Well, it's got Party Up on it, but it's only got like 6 or 7 songs. But I'm definitely going to be getting that as well.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. Oh, and you're a fan of Kevin Smith movies, right?
I love. Yeah. Well, I haven't seen. Uh, like I feel if I went back and watched like fucking like Mallrats now, I'd probably feel ashamed of liking it.
Julie's not gonna like hearing that because she absolutely loves Mallrats, and I
I
I
mean,
really like Mallrats a lot
I
too.
I fucking love it too. But when's the last time you watched it?
Actually, I watched it about a year, like maybe 15 months ago.
Is it not problematic?
Oh no, there's plenty of problematic things. I just like shut off that part of my brain watching it because I thought it was. I mean, yeah. Now that you put it that way, there's a lot of it that is problematic, but I don't think. Well, I'll tell you this. I like if you watch a movie like, well, really any of them, but certainly the first American Pie movie,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
that's like unwatchable. Like it's just that one's like super super terrible as far as the connotations and the implications of everything that those guys are doing. So, um, I think Mallrats actually pales in comparison, but yeah, it's still probably got some problems.
Yeah, like some of these, like what's Jason Lee's character in Mallrats? What's his name?
Brody.
Brody. He'd be like a fucking like mass shooter now or something, right? Like
Oh, maybe. I mean,
it's
I
like
don't
this
want to.
angry white male, like really aggressive. Like I don't know. I feel like that's what they turned into now. Is all these
Yeah,
like really
yeah. Well, I will say that he was also super lazy. I mean, I didn't think he
uh,
was going to go do any shootings because he was just like sitting in his bed playing, NHL hockey and, reading comic books all the time. But
that's a good point. He probably
yeah,
doesn't have the will to go kill anybody.
It's just such a pain in the ass. I'm going to not delve into that too much further because you are going to be ruining my enjoyment of the movie.
And
But
again, I have the fucking poster on my wall. Like it's I really like that movie, but I just haven't seen it in a long time, and I'm scared that if I watch it now, like I won't like it as much.
um, so when is that? So Jay and Silent Bob is having like a new movie. Is that out yet, or is it coming out?
No, it's coming out sometime this month. I think in a week or two or something. They're doing screenings where Kevin Smith. I don't know if Jason Mewes will be there, but definitely Kevin Smith is gonna be around for like a Q&A and shit. But it's crazy expensive. Like the Music Box show was like $75 or something like that.
Oh, and because he's going to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow.
Which I mean, I did that for Red State. I don't know if you've seen Red State.
No, I haven't.
It was like it's on Netflix, or it was on Netflix for a while. But when it first came out, he was going around to different theaters. He was bringing the movie himself to different theaters, and he was doing a Q&A and like a fucking meet and greet along with the movie. So that was pretty cool, you know. And I think I might have paid like $50 or $60 for that. I don't
Sure.
remember where that was, but I don't think I can do that again. I mean, not for that much.
Yeah,
I,
it's definitely pricey.
I definitely want to see it. I think so. The Music Box has a couple of screenings. I think like two, where it's like the $75 thing, and then you can watch it as like I forget what they're called. They're like these specials, like 1 or 2 night only events at like Regal Cinemas, where it's like a regular or not a regular price ticket, but like a $20 ticket. So I might do that. But Kevin Smith won't be there, obviously, but you'll get to see that movie.
Yeah, yeah, and that's really the most important part.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing it up because the soundtrack to that movie is being released on Black Friday Record Store Day,
And
and
what's the movie called again? Jane Silent Bob
Jay and
Strike Back
Silent Bob reboot.
reboot. Okay.
Yeah. Um, so it's like a lot of the other soundtracks to the Kevin Smith movies. It's got, it looks like dialogue, is about half of it and stuff.
Yeah.
But it does have a few actual legit tracks on here. Um, I don't know if you know the song "I Die Without You" by PM Dawn.
Sounds familiar, but
It was in the original Boomerang movie, and it's a really good song, really good R&B song. But whatever, you don't know it, so you're not excited. But I'm excited about that. And then there's also "Keep on Loving You" by REO Speedwagon. Are you familiar with that one?
no.
Okay, well, okay, so you're probably gonna know this song, and this is what I'm most jazzed about. If I say the song "Goodbye Horses," does that ring any bells to you?
No.
Okay, does the name Q Lazarus mean anything to you?
No.
Okay, well, Q Lazarus is the artist that does "Goodbye Horses." "Goodbye Horses" is that kind of like creepy synth song from Silence of the Lambs that Buffalo Bill like does his
Oh
dance to.
shit. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a really good song. And
Yeah, yeah.
a couple months ago, I looked on Discogs to because I wanted to purchase it, and I guess it's a limited press single from like, I don't know if it came out in the late '80s or like maybe 1990, but it's like 200, like it'll cost you $200 to get that original single.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Were you
So
looking it up because you wanted to recreate the scene from Silence of the Lambs?
I mean, I'm is it the Fifth Amendment that they plead when they don't want to speak to the possible truth? I'm just gonna plead the
Yeah.
Fifth now. But so I'm stoked for that soundtrack because I'm definitely gonna get that. Now in years past, because I am a great friend, I have offered on Record Store Days past to pick up any of the ones that you've glanced on the list that you might want a copy of. Do you want me to do that again for this special Black Friday edition?
Yeah, yeah, that would be awesome.
The Sublime?
The Sublime for sure. And maybe that the Jane Silent Bob. I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, it
Is
looks pretty good.
is there like any punk shit that's like coming out for Black Friday?
Punk shit? You like punk music, Ivan?
I love punk music.
Okay,
I
well
mean,
you may
I
go
always
ahead.
ask you for the Ramones albums when they come out.
Yeah, so you may be after eviscerating Mallrats, you may be winning Julie back a little with your professed love of punk because she likes punk music a lot.
Oh,
Um,
right.
I wouldn't recognize, I might be looking at punk bands here that I just don't even
I don't
know.
know that they're punk.
Yeah, are the Monkees a punk band?
Yeah, very prominent punk band.
Kings of Leon, they sound punkish.
I fucking hate those guys so much.
What do you have against Kings of Leon?
Mostly that they suck. That's really my only problem with them, is that they're terrible.
They're awful at the one thing that they do. Do you hate them more or less than Insane Clown Posse? Because ICP also has a release for the Record Store Day.
I mean, I'm gonna have to say more than ICP.
Wow, that's strong hatred.
Have you ever thought about going to the Gathering of the Juggalos?
No, I have not. Have you?
So I love watching those promo videos because they're fucking hilarious. But then some of those lineups, dude, like they've had like really awesome like hip hop artists and some really good comedians, and I mean some of that shit. If it wasn't for the type of people that go to those things, I would probably want to go.
What do you have against Juggalos?
I mean, I guess I don't know any of them personally.
So you're just painting with a very broad brush an entire swathe of people that you've never encountered.
Watch one of those promo videos and tell me you'd go to one of those things.
Well, I will watch one of those videos, and I'll get you on that one. I am looking at this list though, and I honestly I'm just not seeing any groups that I know are that I know for sure are punk. You know, Sublime is looks like it's the closest one.
I guess they scratch at punk a little bit.
Is Twisted a punk group?
No.
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 Oh, but you might. I don't think they're punk, but do you like Rodrigo y Gabriela?
Yeah. Why? Because I'm Mexican. I gotta like them.
Well, that was 80%. Yeah. No, I thought I had remembered that you've maybe mentioned them once in our many talks over the years, but they're having a release.
No. They're pretty cool.
Metal EP or Metal Mettal?
I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, it's 3 previously unreleased metal covers.
Oh,
They cover Megadeth, they cover Metallica, and they cover Slayer.
nice. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, see, so look at all this cool stuff that you're not even aware of because you're not looking at the list, man.
No, I'm not.
So speaking of Mexico, I don't recall if you remember because I think I posted on it last year's World Cup, 2018's World Cup, but because of the piece of shit that's in the Oval Office right now, I was actually rooting for the Mexican team in the World Cup. I really hoped that they would go far and actually win the whole thing. Now that did not happen, but do you watch the national team?
I do. Not as closely as I would like to say I do. So usually, like I watch the World Cup games when they're on, and that's really it. I don't watch like any of the qualifying games or like the friendly game. I mean, if they're in Chicago and we can get tickets, we'll go. Like me and my parents and my brother and shit. But mostly it's the World Cup that I watch.
Okay. And I bring this up for a couple of reasons. One, I was just at the friendly between the United States women's World Cup winning women's team and
Oh yeah, I saw that.
yeah, the Korea. I'm assuming that's South Korea.
Yeah.
That they were playing. So yeah, it was yeah, it's a good assumption. It was there was an entertaining game to watch. It ended up being a draw, and since it was a friendly, they don't go into like overtime or penalty kicks or anything exciting like that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cool because I don't. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it was like a 0-0 draw or 1-1 draw. What was Were there any goals scored?
It was 26-26 actually.
Oh, okay, awesome.
It was a real barn burner. No, it was 1-1.
Okay.
But the U.S. had some really great scoring chances late in the game that they couldn't put away. They actually did score late in the game, but it was ruled offsides. But it takes a while for them to signal that they're offsides. So like, I had already high-fived 8 people around me before, I heard the collective groan and then realized that didn't count. I also got to participate in the wave. How do you feel about the wave?
I mean, I'm alright with it. I wouldn't start the wave ever, but I'll let it slide.
um, I don't know if you've ever watched women's soccer games, but it's actually really jarring to watch them, and jarring in a good way, because there is like no stoppages for any sort of flopping and the exaggeration of the contact and the penalties and stuff.
Oh,
It's like
I mean,
they're super, yeah, yeah.
I watched because they kind of blew up this past year, right?
Well, yeah, past couple
And
years, really, yeah.
well, this year's particular when I like, I guess, caught wind of it and started. I watched like a couple of games, but I didn't notice that. Is that like a intentional thing that they do? Like, what's the reason for that?
I think they're just tough. Honestly, I think they're tougher than men.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
and obviously we know that women are tougher than men. That's why, I'm not going to get into it, but they're tougher than men. Um,
well, yeah,
but
they have babies come out of them, so
exactly. So, but yeah, so I really think like it's like, whereas guys, go down at the first contact, and then they try to sell it to get the penalty and everything, which I just hate watching. And everybody who isn't a fan of soccer always points to that as the first thing that why they don't like watching, and it's because of all the
yeah.
flop.
Even though they
Um,
fucking do that shit in basketball too.
Even though they do it in basketball too, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't like it in basketball either. But yeah, I think the women are just like, they get taken down, and they pop right back up and keep playing. It's like it's not even in their heads to like try to draw a foul.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so it's a much more enjoyable form of soccer to me to watch, because it's just not so much stoppages. Um, but yeah, so that was fun. Uh, FIFA World Cup in 2026 is going to be jointly shared by the United States, Mexico, and Canada.
I'm aware of
So
that.
you're aware of that?
But I heard, I don't know if it was a rumor or something that none of the Mexico games are going to be played in Mexico. Is that?
Oh, like
Am I
none of
just?
the Mexican teams games?
Yeah. I don't know if I
Huh.
just fucking made that up in my head or somebody told me and I just fucking took it for a fact.
I didn't hear that particularly. There is going to be the majority of the matches are going to be in the United States.
Yeah.
Um, and it looks like the vast majority is going to be 60 matches, including the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final, will all be hosted in the US. And then Canada and Mexico will each host 10 matches.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah.
So I think it would be awesome to go watch. Um, well, really any World Cup game in Mexico at the Aztec Stadium in Estadio Azteca.
Yes. So this is why I brought it up, because I wanted to get you to commit, even though it's 7 years away. When I found out about this last year, that was my first thought. Was I don't even obviously care who I got to see play in
Yeah.
that stadium, but I want to go there in that stadium because it's so iconic, and watch a World Cup match there. I think that would be amazing. So if you want to
Yeah,
go,
dude. Dude, I was just in Mexico last week, um, and I was in Mexico City for 3 days. And there was a game, El America versus Cruz Azul, and I went, and it was fucking. It was the stadium was half empty, which I was kind of disappointed by.
sure.
But it's a fucking huge stadium, and the crowd was still like really into it, and it was awesome. Like I really enjoyed it, so I would definitely love to go back, especially for a World Cup game.
Awesome. Yeah, because it's going to be packed for that one for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm putting you down. I'm putting you down in the book. You can't back out of it now, unless
So now,
unless you die. That death is the only excuse.
all right. So I still have an out.
You still have an out. Um, I want to switch tacks to I think this is probably safe to say, it's probably your biggest passion is movies. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
definitely. Yeah, I
Okay,
love
so
I love movies.
so
Only the good ones though.
only okay. So do you have a I don't know if I've ever actually asked you this. Do you have a top five list? Do you have a top five movies, or
I think we have talked about this because I told you I had a top 10, which is actually a top 11. Because I
ooh,
have.
let's rip them. Let's rip right through 'em.
Well, first of all, I feel like this list is like an ever changing list. Like every time I tell somebody my top 10, I feel like I need to change it, but I'm just gonna go with what I feel right now.
Okay.
Uh, so like Fight Club is my favorite movie.
Oh,
I
that's number one.
Yeah, yeah. I just saw it at I mean I think it was like in junior or sophomore year. I forgot when it came out, 1999. So it was junior year in high school, and it fucking blew my mind.
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything like it. The fucking twist and just the way they like. If you go back and watch the movie after, the twist, like it's still like it's really well done. They don't cheat it or anything.
Wait, are you saying, why do you keep referring to it as the twist because you don't want to do a spoiler on a movie that's 20 years old?
I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that haven't seen it, so.
Well, I'm gonna keep the name calling to a minimum. So I'm sure there are as well. And that's unfortunate for them because it is a great movie. And I don't know if you've ever heard the soundtrack to it, but the soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean that's how like I got into the Pixies, uh, with that
Oh, okay.
song at the end.
Sure, sure.
But then after that, it's a tie between Clockwork Orange and Reservoir Dogs as my number two. Even
Okay.
though, so Reservoir Dogs, I saw even younger. I think I was like in eighth grade or something, and it just fucking blew my mind. And I feel like Reservoir Dogs, the feeling I had when I watched Reservoir Dogs is like that's the feeling that I'm looking for now, like in a movie. Like I want to be that amazed with the
Yeah.
movie. And Clockwork Orange, I mean, I fucking love Stanley Kubrick. Clockwork Orange was the first of his movies that I saw, and it was really impressionable for me. Even though now, like, I think Barry Lyndon is better. I think um, 2001: Space Odyssey is better. So I feel like there's better movies that he's made, but Clockwork Orange was my first Stanley Kubrick. And then,
Do you like Full Metal Jacket?
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I love everything that Stanley Kubrick has done. He's like, um, I don't know. He's my favorite filmmaker for sure.
Oh, okay.
And then Empire Strikes Back, right? Best Star Wars movie.
Still the best one, you'd say.
And definitely, yeah.
And
I think what?
you've seen all of them, including like the ancillary like Rogue One and
Yeah.
the Han Solo movie. Han
I I,
Solo.
I think Last Jedi can sneak up into like so. I think Empire, and then the original Star Wars, and then probably Last Jedi, like our top three.
Do you hate the prequel trilogy as much as everybody else does?
Yeah, they're fucking terrible. I don't respect Hayden Christensen specifically because of the prequels.
What about Jumper? Did you see him in Jumper?
Yeah, and I fucking hate that movie because of him.
Jesus. Do you hate Phantom Menace because of that poor little Jake Lloyd? The kid
Yeah.
was like 10 years old and like people like ripped him to shreds. I'm like, he's 10. What do you expect out of this kid?
It's hilarious. There's a documentary about the making of the Phantom Menace, and it just shows you like all the catastrophic mistakes they made leading up to this movie. I don't know how this fucking documentary got made and released, but it's on YouTube. I forget what it's called. But in it they show like the casting process where they were like casting like these different kids, and clearly Jake Lloyd is the worst one of the ones that they show, and somehow fucking George Lucas was like, oh, this is the guy that's gonna be my Darth Vader.
Well, I'm gonna maybe get on board the Jake Lloyd is awful train. I want to watch the other castings that they had with some of the other kids to verify that he was in fact the worst.
All right, so that's number three. I'm gonna say Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Is
Have you
that
ever
with
seen
Jim
that?
Carrey?
Yeah, yeah, Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet.
I've never seen it.
And I always like to say that's my favorite romantic comedy, even though it's not really romantic comedy. But it is funny, and it's a love story. It's about this couple that breaks up, and it's set in a world. It's kind of sci-fi-ish. It's set in a world where like they offer a service where you can remove um, somebody from your memories. Like you go in and you have this work done where like they'll specifically go and like take this person from your memories. Like you see this process happening inside their brain or inside mainly Jim Carrey's, where they're slowly removing Kate Winslet from his brain,
Huh.
and it's pretty awesome.
That sounds like it sounds like a movie.
Yeah, yeah, it is definitely a movie. um, After that, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Have you seen that one?
You know what? I think I've seen like the first 20 minutes of that.
Why have you only seen 20 minutes of Scott Pilgrim?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I probably went out to a bar after. I don't know. Something was happening. I got pulled away and then I just never went back to it. But I've always heard good things about it.
It's incredible. I like to say it's the best video game movie, even though it's not really like a video game. They did turn it into a video game afterwards, but it just takes a lot of aesthetics for video games.
Okay. Okay. I do remember that aspect of it.
Yeah,
So that's your is that the top five? Is that your fifth one?
yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll allow you to go 6 through 11.
All right. Ed Wood with
Okay. Never
Johnny
saw it.
Depp, incredible. The Grave of the Fireflies, which is a Studio Ghibli animated film. That shit makes me cry every time I watch it.
Oh shit. That's like Rudy for me.
Fargo.
I've never seen Fargo either.
What the hell is your problem?
I've got a lot of problems. I like to watch bad movies over and over instead of watching actual good flicks.
Motorcycle Diaries, which is like the origin story, quote unquote, of Che Guevara.
Oh, okay. I actually did not know that.
Yeah, it's like his trip he took around Latin America on his motorcycle with his best friend, which kind of
Oh,
led him into becoming like a revolutionary.
you know what? I'm an idiot. I heard that and I had an image of Leo DiCaprio. Because that was what was that, the Basketball Diaries?
Yeah, that's the best. That's a good movie too, but definitely
And
not
that
in
was
my top.
that about Jim Morrison?
No, that's
Oh,
just about this kid who was like on drugs.
oh.
And then
Okay.
Mallrats is the last one.
Oh, okay.
Even though it's probably not anymore. I got to take that poster off my wall.
What about the original Night of the Living Dead? I thought you liked that movie.
Oh, I love that movie. See, so this is the problem with my top 10 is like I feel there's not no horror in it, which I fucking love horror. I
Yeah.
love The Shining. I love Rosemary's Baby, even though fucking Roman Polanski is a piece of shit. Um, there's no There Will Be Blood. I think is a fucking amazing movie.
I
Um,
haven't seen that. I own it, but I haven't seen it.
oh man, you should watch it. Um, Paul Thomas Anderson. He's probably the greatest filmmaker alive right now.
Um, I'm wearing a shirt right now that my lovely girlfriend was kind enough to give me um, for my upcoming birthday. It's a t-shirt with a picture of a Chevrolet vehicle on it, and it says O'Shea Chevrolet, and then it says Urbana, Ohio. Do you know what that's referencing?
Oh man, I feel like I'm being tested.
Urbana, Ohio was the home of Kevin O'Shea, and then at the end of the movie, they changed it to home of the O'Shea brothers.
No, I'm drawing a blank.
You don't remember the icebox? Oh
No.
man.
Oh, Little Giants.
Little Giants, that's right.
Is that movie in your top 10?
Uh, Not top 10. But it is I do enjoy watching it every time I do watch it.
I imagine your top 10 being like Little Giants, The Sandlot, Rookie of the Year,
An- Angels in the Outfield,
Major League.
Air Bud. No, you know what? I mean, you're probably gonna laugh at my list anyways, but I'm just gonna rip through
Yeah.
the top five, which does fluctuate from time to time. But Scarface is always in there somewhere. Um,
Nice.
the Al Pacino one, not the original one from like the 30s.
Oh, not the black and white one. All right.
Yeah, not the black and white one. So Scarface is up there. Original Night of the Living Dead is in there. Um, High Fidelity is in there.
Nice.
Um,
I've never seen High Fidelity.
oh shit! Oh man, you're back in Julie's shit list. We both love High Fidelity. It's a great movie. You should watch it. It's hilarious. It is a great an actual romantic comedy. And it's set in Chicago, and it's Jack Black is absolutely hilarious in it. There's a great Evil Dead reference, which I see that the Evil Dead is playing Friday and Saturday night at Music Box at midnight.
Yeah, they have a 4K restoration of it.
Oh, That sounds like it would be better to view then.
Yeah, yeah, it's like the cleaned up version basically.
Um, Also the second Aliens movie, um, and then probably the original Terminators in there floating around in
Nice.
that top 10 area. Heat, I also love Heat a lot.
Yeah, he
Uh,
did great.
Heat is awesome. And then, oh, this is one you'll probably laugh at me about. The original Boondock Saints.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That
I just love that movie.
have you seen the documentary about that director?
I still haven't, and I heard about it, and I wanted to because everybody who I talked to, which was like two people about it, said that he's a real jerk off, and that's why the second one took like 11 years to
Yeah,
make.
he basically ruined his own career. Like after he made Boondock Saints, everybody wanted to work with this dude, and he was such a piece of shit that he like never like he made Boondock Saints 2, and that's it.
Yeah, and he like didn't he like play in a band or something too, like that he
Yeah,
like put in the movie, like the music and shit. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a couple interviews with him, and he just seemed like a jerk. Um,
yeah.
but I did want to watch that documentary. I did finally a few months ago find the documentary for um the making of Apocalypse Now.
Oh, nice. Heart of Darkness, it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Have
haven't
you
seen that.
seen it?
No, no, I have not.
Cool. Well, maybe I'll bring it up. We can watch it sometime.
I'm down for that shit.
Well, I'm not gonna watch it if you still have that poster of Mallrats up because it's so gross.
That's very problematic. I mean, Shannon
Um,
Doherty has her arms wrapped around Jason Lee's leg.
yeah, like the old like the I don't know what the first movie was that had that like kind of image in the poster, right?
Oh, the
Like
fucking damsel in distress thing.
yeah, yeah. And then National Lampoon's Original Vacation lampooned it with their first vacation movie poster, Beverly D'Angelo. Um,
I've never seen that either because I hate Chevy Chase.
oh my God. And Chevy Chase is a total jerk off, but like, dude, I will, you know what? Not that you care, and maybe, well, probably that nobody cares, but I care about it a lot. I ask people who have seen, I don't even know how many vacation movies there are, but in my mind, the canon is there was the original Vacation, then there was European Vacation, then there was Christmas Vacation, and then there was Vegas Vacation. And I don't know if they came out with more after that, but those are the four that I know and have seen. And there's like good chunk of the population that says Christmas Vacation is the funniest of the
Uh
vacation
huh.
movies. And I saw Christmas Vacation. I didn't even think it was the funniest movie of it of in its own movie. I laughed like twice maybe. I thought it was awful, but like people love Christmas Vacation over the original. The original to me is hilarious. You have to at least
Really?
watch the yeah.
I don't know if I can get over the Chevy Chase thing.
What did Chevy Chase ever do to you?
Just be a piece of shit.
um,
Uh,
how do you feel about David S. Pumpkins?
I mean, I don't get the obsession with this dude. I love Tom Hanks.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah, I love Tom Hanks. But I don't get like he's just fucking wearing a fucking pumpkin suit and he's dancing. Like it's not that funny.
Oh, you are truly a spoil sport. And if you don't think that skit is hilarious, then I don't know if you know what humor is. That shit's funny. It's official. Um, Music Box. You go there a lot. You belong to the club, yes?
Yes, yes. I was just there today. That's
What
part
were
of
you
the
watching
reason.
today?
Was
That's why I was waiting for you to do this podcast because you're at Music Box, you jerk.
yeah. Takashi Miike movie. He made his most famous films are Audition and Itchy the Killer. Have you seen either of those?
I haven't even heard of either of those. No.
Oh, is Japanese filmmaker, very prolific. He's made like 100 fucking movies in his career. This dude like pumps him out like nothing. But he's got a new movie out this year called First Love, and that's what I went to see. It was really good.
Um, they're doing that Music Box of Horrors 2019, where it's like 24 hours of horror flicks.
Yeah, yeah,
Have you done that before?
yeah, yeah. This I'm going again this year. This will be like my 5th year doing it.
And do you go for the whole 24 hours?
No, no, no. I'm not fucking. I can't. I can't. I do like half of it, maybe like 13, 14 hours, but then I call it quits after that.
Um, have you looked at the lineup for this year's installment?
Very briefly, I know they're showing one of the Halloween movies. I think Halloween 2.
Yes, Halloween 2.
Yes, and there's something. Oh, they're showing fuck, the guy who directed The Descent. I forget his name. But they're showing us something dogs,
Dog Soldiers.
dog soldiers. That was his first movie. I haven't seen that, so I'm excited to see that
Oh, and
on the
he's
big
gonna
screen.
he's gonna be there
Yeah,
for a film Q&A.
yeah, yeah. So,
Um, Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's really cool because they have filmmakers there for Q and A's. They have vendors, and they have a tattoo artist that goes every year. And I'm trying to make it a tradition to get a tattoo by her every year. They're flash tattoos. They're $20, and they're really simple designs. She does them pretty quickly, so
And then,
trying to.
so they're flash tattoos. What does that mean?
It's like a. She's got specific designs that she does, and they're really simple.
Oh, but they are in fact like permanent tattoos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and you've gotten
The
them so far?
yeah. Well, I've only done it the last 2 times. But the last one I got from her was kind of not her fault, but it was kind of shitty. We were like, I got it done in an awkward spot, and she was kind of like at an awkward angle. But I'm still gonna go back this year to get another one.
I'm gonna leave that one completely alone. But there's quite a few jokes that can be made with the way that you just set that up.
It's on my
Uh,
fucking arm. I was just like positioned awkwardly.
okay. Sure it is. So I looked over the list of movies here, and the only one that, like, I mean, I've heard of some of these obviously, but there's a movie called Alligator
Yes.
about obviously a killer alligator. Um, and like that one's like, oh shit, I want to go see that. And of course, it's the one that's taking the much prized 3:30 a.m. slot. So I don't know if I'm gonna make it to that one.
Yeah, I probably won't even see that one.
Um, so
They're showing.
speaking,
They're also showing The Man Who Laughs. I just remembered.
yeah, that's it looks like that's the one that kicks it off at noon.
Yeah. So that's supposedly what inspired the Joker back in the day.
Oh, really? Look at that. Look at this trivia. I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen the new Joker flick?
Yes, I watched it at the Music Box as well. They're they're,
Awesome.
sh- they're showing it in 70 millimeter.
So to those movie ignorant like myself, what does that mean?
So it's actual film as opposed to like digital projection, and
Okay.
70 millimeter. It's like a bigger film reel, so bigger film stock. So you get it's like higher definition. It's like the equivalent of like 8K. So
Oh,
better picture
wow.
quality, more color vibrancy. It looks really beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really good looking movie.
What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was good. I think it's getting overhyped a little bit. People saying that it should get like Best Picture or that it's like the best superhero movie, and it's neither. But it's good.
So
And
you do
Joaquin,
recommend that people see it?
definitely, yeah. Joaquin Phoenix is amazing. He's he puts in a really good performance.
I think I've liked him in everything I've ever seen him in, so
Yeah, yeah. That dude's probably one of the best actors of our time.
interesting. Um, Speaking of Stanley Kubrick that you mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
because I'm going to tie this in a little bit with a book that I'm leafing through recently. It's called History Decoded: The 10 Greatest Conspiracies of All Time. And
This is about the fucking moon landing.
yeah, yeah. So wait, did I tell you about this before?
No, but this is like a constant thing with like 2001 that after he made this movie that he shot the moon landing.
But have you heard that he made The Shining as a way to reveal it?
There's a documentary called Room 237,
Yeah, yeah.
which explores different interpretations of The Shining, and that's one of them.
Yeah, and there's four conspiracy, or not conspiracy theories, but theories about interpretations of what The Shining is about. And I watched that movie. This was years ago. I couldn't sleep one night. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I went out to the living room to just throw something on and fall asleep watching TV. And I thought, I was like, Room 237 documentary about Shining. Okay, whatever. This sounds fucking boring. And I was just like glued to the screen for those 2 hours. As each theory got brought out, I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that
dude.
makes sense.
I went to see that shit in the theater when it came out. I was excited about it.
Oh shit. And do you think there's any? Do you buy into any of the four?
No, I mean, I like the movie because well, I like the documentary because it kind of deals with like different ways to interpret movies, right? Especially something like The Shining, which has like so many different things going on. But no, like I don't think I feel like they're all not valid, but it, um, I think it's cool that people can interpret these movies like in different ways.
Yeah. Um, I also wanted to bring up something about a horror movie. Uh, do you remember? I'm assuming you've seen Cujo.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember that? Because I didn't remember it till I watched it a couple years ago. Did you remember the subplot that the wife who gets trapped in the vehicle with little Danny Pintaro,
Yeah.
um, she was having an affair in that movie?
I only know because I watched it at the Music Box last year. They were doing a Stephen King retrospective, and I went to see it again. But that did surprise me. I was like, "What the fuck? She was having an affair?" Like I don't, I did not remember that at all.
I didn't. Right. Well, that was the same reaction I had. Um, and then it's like, so yeah, so she did deserve to be trapped in that vehicle. No, that's not why I'm bringing it up. I just thought it would be hilarious if, and maybe this is only hilarious to me, but I thought it would be hilarious if, because I always think about like movies that like should have sequels or like there's more story to tell.
Yeah.
And I thought Cujo could be such a movie because I thought that guy, the guy that she was cheating on her husband with, he was like the
Yeah.
handyman or something, and he had
Yeah.
like a total like late 70s or early 80s like fucking full on beard, right? Like he was the town stud.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
she, yeah. But I thought it'd be like really cool if like there was a movie that was like picks up like 20 years after the events of Cujo, and but like it's not, you don't know that it's him because of course nobody even remembers that he was even in the movie because nobody remembers that anybody, the only thing people remember of Cujo is the damn dog.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
but I thought it'd be really cool if it was like this kind of suspense thriller about this guy who's like kind of like going crazy and losing his mind and then seeks revenge on this woman from years earlier. And then you realize at the end, like, I don't know how they would do it, but then you realize, oh, it's the guy from Cujo. I don't think anybody would go to see that movie, but I would.
What would?
Have you ever?
I mean, the dog would obviously be dead.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, that's why it wouldn't be a giveaway right away. I don't know if Danny Pintaro would make an appearance. I don't know how to bring it all together. I just thought maybe somebody like a Paul Thomas Anderson could do something with this
Maybe Paul. Maybe Paul. What's his name? Oh, there's another Paul Anderson. Paul W.S. Anderson. He's
Oh,
like
'cause yeah, yeah. He's one of the horror film guys that I just saw on the list of the Music Box.
what? I don't know. He hasn't done. He does like shitty like, and some of them are enjoyable. He did like 2012, like that. He does like disaster movies.
Oh, okay.
Um, but he might he might touch something like.
Do you ever think about movies that you would like to see sequels to, or is that just
Uh,
something stupid that I do?
no, I really don't. No, I mean, I just like to take them in as they come.
So you don't think that a sequel needs to be made to White Men Can't Jump?
Would it be called White Men Can Jump?
No, because that's so. I mean, Ivan, come on, that's so lazy and transparent. But you don't want to know what happened to Woody Harrelson's character? Like, do you even remember? Did you even see that movie?
Yeah, yeah. I used to love that movie. I don't remember. They lost. He sold off the playoff game, right, or something. Didn't Wesley Snipes sell him out or something?
Um, no. They ended up playing these legendary old timers in a 2-on-2 pickup game at the end of the movie, but Rosie Perez's character Gloria was like, she was so done with Billy Ho always, betting money and losing it and being bad with money, and she had just won a ton of money on her appearance on Jeopardy.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I remember that.
so he had gotten like some of her winnings because he had helped orchestrate the whole thing like through Wesley Snipes' connection. So she's like, if you take money again and bet, I'm out of here. and I guess he thought that she didn't mean it, because then when he comes back, like they actually won. Him and Wesley Snipes won. He like doubled his take, and then he got home, back to the hotel all excited, and she was fucking just gone. And like that's how that's how the movie ends. And then like Wesley Snipes and is talking shit to Woody Harrelson, and then they end up having like a one-on-one with each other.
Yeah. Okay.
But like,
But
I want to
no,
know what happened. What happened to Billy Ho?
it doesn't fucking like these stories don't need to. This is the problem with some of these sequels. Is so like The Matrix is pretty amazing, right? Like it's a fucking revolutionary film. It changed
Yes.
action cinema. Like even now they can't make action movies like The Matrix. And then they went and made Matrix Revolutions and Matrix. I forgot what the third one was called.
Oh no, the third one was Revolutions. The second one was Reloaded.
Reloaded, yes. But so that's the problem. Is like some of these stories just need to stand on their own. We don't need fucking deeper explanations. We don't need to know what fucking happens after Neo fucking flies away like Superman. Like we don't need to know all of that. Like let these
Yeah.
stories stand on their own, and then somebody else a few years later can make another Matrix. Not literally another Matrix, but like something of that equivalence. Like that's that revolutionary.
Well, so it's funny that you bring up that specific trilogy, because they are releasing the
Yes.
Matrix Reloaded and the Matrix Revolution soundtracks on
Um,
record starting Black Friday. Am I to take it you don't want those on vinyl?
no. Although I am obviously gonna watch. They're making a new Matrix movie. I don't know if you heard about that.
Oh, I did not hear about that. No.
And I think it's only one of the Wachowski siblings. You know that they're transgender women now, right?
Yes, yes. Which
Uh,
is
but
is fascinating, because did they both? Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, and a lot of people think that like the Matrix is a metaphor for like transitioning.
Oh, I had not heard that.
Yeah, but it's only I guess they don't get along anymore, and I'm pretty sure it's Lena Wachowski, the one that's doing the new Matrix movie. So they're not
Is it
both
a
doing it. It's
is
only
it a
one of them.
sequel, or is it a reboot, or like a
No,
remake?
it's a sequel. So it's Matrix 4. Like they have, I don't think they've released the name for it yet.
Nice. Well, I hope it's not Matrix 4, because that's weak. Uh, so okay, so we don't have a lot of time left, but I did want to see if you had. Um, do you have any recommendations for the worst movie of all time, or worst movie that you've ever seen?
Oh wow. Um, fuck, that's. I mean, I want to say The Room, but that's really easy.
Yeah.
Um, oh, The Happening. I fucking hate The Happening, and I think that's one of the reasons why I hate Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch is because of that movie.
Oh my God. So a couple weeks into dating, my current lovely girlfriend, and actually Little Giants was actually one of the very first movies that we watched. She was very excited when she saw that I had it, which of course, made me fall ever more in love with her. But then one day we were going through, and she hadn't seen The Happening. So I actually liked The Happening a lot. So I was like,
What?
oh great, let's watch The Happening. And then like 35 minutes into it, like they meet that older couple who's like, the guy basically like ruins the surprise of the movie, is that the plants are doing it.
Yeah, yeah. The wind is
And
killing them.
yeah, and he like keeps saying, it's like, the plants can really like release toxins and stuff in the air. And like my girlfriend turns to me and she's like, don't tell me the fucking plants are responsible for all this. And I was like, I totally forgot that this guy gave away the plot of the whole fucking movie, but yep, it's definitely the plants. And she's like, okay, I don't want to watch this shit anymore. Let's shut it off. So we didn't even get to watch the end of
Good, good. I like her even more now.
it. Um, well, I am going to say that my vote for worst movie of all time is Teen Wolf 2. I don't know if I've ever talked to you about it, but
I've never
that
seen
is one of the
it.
most god awful things ever put to print. Jason Bateman's in it, and he's like the cousin of the Michael J. Fox character from the first movie,
Yeah.
because it's like the werewolf gene is like, it runs in the family, and he goes to college and he becomes a boxing werewolf. It is awful. And there's a scene where he like
Wait, so
sings.
this is starring Jason Bateman?
Oh yeah, no, Jason Bateman
Oh.
is the star of Teen Wolf 2. Michael J.
Oh,
Fox was smart enough to be like, we were lucky to get away with it the first time. I want to get nowhere near this piece of shit. And then Jason Bateman's like, sure, I'll fucking star in Teen Wolf 2, and it's fucking awful. And he does this scene where he sings the old Contour song, "Do You Love Me?" He sings it in the movie as a werewolf. It is, oh my god, it's cringeworthy for sure.
I'll try to seek it out.
Of course I have it on I have it on DVD because I bought one of those DVDs where it's like Teen Wolf's on one side and then you flip it over and it's Teen Wolf 2.
Yeah,
So
I hate those DVDs.
if you want to watch it, just let me know. But yeah, Ivan, I did want to thank you for taking the time and talking about music and movies and you know, fun shit like that. So thanks a lot, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey, you went to the first Bin Chickens. Did you like it? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, of course. It was great.
Are you gonna go to the second one?
When is it again?
It is Sunday, November 10th. It'll be 4 weeks from this upcoming Sunday, and it's at Emporium in Wicker Park.
The
So,
Good Emporium.
yes, the Good Emporium, and they even expanded into like it's bigger than it was like when it first opened. So it's a great space. It's going to be a great venue, and we're having the same DJs coming back, and it's gonna be a really great time. So you better show up.
I'm down for sure.
Excellent, buddy. Well, thanks again, and have a good night.
You too. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.